Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new edition of your favorite program, To The Point. Tonight we are going to concentrate on one thing and one thing only, camping in the state of Kuwait. When summer is long gone and over and the temperature cooled down, people in the state of Kuwait seek the solace of the desert for their annual stress relief experience of camping, which takes them away from their daily routines and problems. From November until March, people head to the desert to experience the fair weather, plantation and outside activities that they dare not approach during the scorching heat of the summer. And the advent of the camping season, campers and authorities alike start their respective preparation. On the organizing part, the municipality of Kuwait started issuing regulations and rules that would ensure that campers would maximize their experiences and also make certain that they stay safe and out of trouble. To talk more about this issue, stay with us. We have a report and come back with us.
To further emphasize the decision of Kuwait municipality regarding the process of organizing spring camps in a civilized manner and to preserve environment which has been suffering in the last few years due to random and irresponsible camping, the municipality confirmed to providing an online service that enables people to choose and pay for camping sites so that the citizens and residents can enjoy the desert of Kuwait as for our forefathers did. However, preserving the environment is vital and therefore a fee of the value of 5,000 KD will be imposed upon those that violate the law, whether the camp is illegal or actions that hurt the environment were seen, such as making concrete grounds, throwing litter in undesignated areas, and for harming the environment in any way. From this standpoint, the municipality urges everyone to obtain a clearance and wishes everyone a healthy and environment-friendly times.
Today's camping involves activities that negatively impact the environment due to surrounding campsites with barriers from the topsoil, off-road transport by cars using heavy equipment such as electrical generators, camping facilities such as bathrooms with cement floors, soccer and volleyball fields. For more about this and a lot more, we have one of the specialists and the experts in the state of Kuwait. His name is Dr. Ali Mohammed Khuraibet, environmental consultant. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're most welcome.
You have heard what I have said at the beginning of the program and just a moment away, that people around in the state of Kuwait, not only the citizens, also the expatriates, they are trying to, have this fun, but along the way they are ruining the environment, whether it's sea or land. Mm-hmm. So what exactly we need to do?
Well, let me first reflect on this issue by saying that, what is the main reason or causes that, lead people to go to the desert or to marine areas? This season, as we know, that it is going to be starting the camping season. So people should go to the desert area in order to be in touch with the nature, to feel the nature, and to enjoy what is existing from natural environmental components of the ecosystem. But what is happening is that most of the people they just transfer everything they have in their houses to the camping areas. So in fact, you are not,
Which is wrong.
Which is wrong to me, because you know this is not being in touch with nature. You are being in touch again with your house. You are in touch with your air conditioning system. You are in touch with your washing machine. You are in touch with your fridge. So this is in fact not going back to nature. You are going to your house again, but in a different area. So bringing back modernization to the desert area, in fact, is having a lot and making a lot of adverse impacts and negative impacts on our desert ecosystem.
That's a shame. Now, people are trying to reduce their period of camping. Usually it starts from November until March. Other voices, they are saying, why not cancel the whole thing and let the environment rejuvenate, rebuild itself, because it takes at least 4 to 5 years to do that. So what's your point of view on that?
Well, as an environmentalist also and a consultant, and also saw a lot of camping areas worldwide, I think this is not the issue of limiting the period. You can open any camping area for 1 full year and still you will not have a damage to the ecosystem. It is the way you organize the camping areas. In Kuwait, with regret, we don't have a proper organization for organizing the camping areas. To me, I have said this maybe more than 10 years ago, that what we need in Kuwait, in fact, is eco-camping. Eco-camping, it means that there should be some kind of a joint venture between the government and also the private sector, in which they allocate areas, different sizes, and these areas have all the facility of a simple camping area. So you have the basic things that you need to live and exist in these camping areas, maybe for a week, for days or months. So we shouldn't limit, the period. It is depend on the way we organize the camping area. For example, if we prohibit using cars, and there should be guiding people who guide you where to go, where to see the nature and the component of the ecosystem. So this is will be limiting the adverse impact that might be happening because of the way the current situation is happening in Kuwait. Because currently, cars are moving in the soil. There is a lot of generators, there is noise, there's air pollution. People till 3, 5 o'clock in the morning, still they are awake and making a lot of noises. So this is not a place for resting.
No, sure not. Speaking of which, who determines where you should camp and where you shouldn't camp?
Okay. Now, there is 2 authorities. One of the significant authorities in Kuwait is Kuwait Municipality, because Kuwait Municipality is in charge and the main authority for land use planning. So Kuwait Municipality, they allocate...
So the municipality itself has the blueprint of where to go and where not to go.
Where to camp. Now, we have 2 other authorities. One of them is the Environment Public Authority and also the Public Authority for Agriculture and Fishery Resources. Now, the combination of these 3 authorities, government authorities, will give you some kind of indication where the camping area should be. Because the Environment Public Authority will have a saying if the area will be suitable for camping or not, and how to organize it, and if there's any penalties to be given to people who violate the new environment law. It's not new, but I would say the new environment law.
What about the cooperation between the municipality of Kuwait and the Ministry of Interior? It has to be some joint effort together to prevent from killing the environment.
Yes, see, the Environment Public Authority, they have this law, that was released in 2014, law number 42. And this law specifies what is the role of the EPA in several articles. And also there is an article that states the initiation and establishment of the Environment Police. Now, the Environment Police is under the authority of the Ministry of Interior. Now, if there is any violation, you can call the Environment Police or EPA directly. The Environment Police can be called on the number 25243003. You can call them directly, and if you see any kind of pollution or damaging to the ecosystem, where's the camping area being used, then you can call them and they will take the necessary action towards the violators.
When you say violators, it means that somebody is doing something wrong.
Against the law.
Yes. What are the penalties that you might receive as soon as you break the law?
Well, the environment law, there is penalties starting from 50 KD to 1 million to
1 million.
1 million KD.
1 million KD.
Yes, to
That's almost a 3 million KD.
yes,
Maybe more. I mean, $3 million.
Dollars, exactly. And also there is penalty of hanging if you do something like bringing radioactive waste to the country without legal permission. Now, you should be, or any campers or any people who used to go or going now to camping area, they should know that there is a law, and they should know that there is the law state violations and penalties for anybody who can damage the natural environment or harm any organisms, the native ones that exist in this ecosystem.
It's a tough situation because if you do not have any awareness, nobody would know what to do or not to do this. What about awareness? Are you satisfied with that? Do you think that the public knows exactly what you're talking about or not?
Yeah. See, the Environment Public Authority, they started long time ago to aware the people about the existence of this law. So this is one. Now, if you go to the education system, starting from the KG to primary school, elementary, university, colleges, all the education curriculum, they have modules and also courses, general courses about the environment. And some colleges like Kuwait University and also the College of Health Sciences, they have programs, 4-year programs about the environment. So there is awareness, but the problem is that there is a group, and this group will not ever understand that we should protect the environment. They are still living in the mentality of people living maybe more than 1,000 years ago, that you are allowed to do anything in the environment.
Stay with us. We will be right back. You mentioned something about eco-friendly solution for the desert. What is it?
Well, it
sounds good. Eco-friendly.
Yes, eco camping. Now, eco camping means that first you have to specify areas within your ecosystem. It could be north of Kuwait, south of Kuwait, mid of Kuwait, and you have to do proper site selection to make sure that the area can be having basic requirements, for example, and also the tents can be having, for example, solar systems. You cannot drive your car. There will be specific electric cars that can take you from one location to another location under a guide, and also you cannot use a lot of water.
These facilities cost too much. Who is going to pay for them?
I said in the beginning that it can be a joint venture between the government and the private sector, but I would say that I'm sure that the private sector in Kuwait will be encouraged and happy to do this project.
That means you have to pay money.
Yes, for sure.
To camp.
Yes.
Now it's free. You can go.
No. Now you have to pay some kind of a
deposit.
Yeah, deposit.
Just in case if you ruin anything, they will subtract it and give you the rest of the money.
Well, this is good. Because any
it's
damage.
Wonderful, but do you think it's doable?
The eco camping.
Yes.
Yes, I think it is because it is so many countries in the industrialized countries. They have these camps and they are working properly, and there should be fees because if you give people some kind of services without fees, they will not appreciate it. So in order to appreciate what they are being given, you need to have these camping and they have to pay the related fees.
At the beginning of the interview, I said something about try to stop or maybe to postpone camping for 2, 3, 4 years. What do you think? Do you think that we can do that? Are we managed to do that?
Well, in some damaged areas, yes. But the problem is that if you decide to be away from these areas, the damaged areas, and you have still the current thinking, people will go to other areas and damage them. So unless we do something to change the way the people are dealing with the natural environment and not damaging it, then we'll be doing the same problem everywhere they are going for camping. So they should be strict with the law They should be aware that there is a law, and they should know why they shouldn't harm the environment. And they should know that, as I said at the beginning, the whole idea about going to the desert is just to be in touch with the environment and to be away from modernization and to feel the environment itself and to see all these native plants and animals, desert animals that we are having.
See,
so not killing them, but
Dr.
enjoying
Khuraibet,
them.
The problem, it's not only, I'm saying only with the citizen himself, the camper himself. We're talking about monitoring the citizens themselves outside of the jurisdiction of the city or something like that, the limitation. You have to keep monitoring them.
Exactly.
In order for you to enforce the law, you have to have somebody to enforce it. You're not going to tell them, don't do this, don't do that. Somebody will abide the law and the others will violate the law. What do you think?
See, I went to Japan several times, and Japanese culture, they are not afraid of the law. And they wouldn't do something against the law in general because they feel that they have a duty toward their society. So if we don't have this duty towards our society to protect it, then there is no benefit of the law. Every time there will be somebody who is going to break the law. So the whole idea is that we need to have some kind of affiliation, a strong affiliation, and also to be putting an effort to protect our environment. This is our environment. This is where we breathe the air. This is where we have our lives. So we should protect it for us and for our future generations.
Now, honestly, it's easier said than done, and you gave us a good example with the Japanese. Would love to be just one of these days, one of them.
One day will be, inshallah.
Inshallah. We'd like to thank Dr. Ali Mohammed Khuraibet, Environmental Consultant, Associate Professor, and also Environment and Health Department, College of Health Sciences. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Still with us right here on your favorite program, To The Point. Right back with this report. Kuwait has always been in the loop with the international efforts to protect the environment and address relevant issues. In collaboration with the Environment Public Authority, the Kuwait Environment Police KEP was established under the Ministry of Interior. KEP is in charge of monitoring environmental violations by individuals and agencies. For more about Kuwait Environment Police and camping season rules and regulation, we have this report.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنشئت إدارة شرطة البيئة في شهر 3 لسنة 2015 بموجب القرار الوزاري 1129 لسنة 2015، وانطلقت مهام شرطة البيئة اعتبارا من شهر 7 لسنة 2015. يتم تطبيق مهام شرطة البيئة عبر تلقي البلاغات والشكاوى من قبل المواطنين والمقيمين، كذلك رصد المخالفات البيئية عن طريق توزيع الدوريات المتحركة والراجلة داخل المنشآت والمباني على كافة إقليم البلاد على نواحي البرية والبحرية. طبعا قانون حماية البيئة هو طبعا أقل عقوبة فيه تنطلق من 50 دينار وتنتهي الغرامة إلى 1,000,000 دينار في أقصى عقوبة لقانون حماية البيئة. قانون حماية البيئة طبعا يهدف إلى حماية الكائنات الحية ووقاية الناس من المخاطر الكيميائية والبيولوجية والفيزيائية وكافة الملوثات التي من شأنها أن تقوم بالإضرار بالصحة العامة. شرطة البيئة تقوم بالتعاون مع الهيئة العامة للبيئة وبلدية الكويت والهيئة العامة للزراعة، وذلك لتقسيم الأماكن الصحيحة والتي صدرت من الجهتين، بلدية الكويت التي تقوم بتخصيص وتوزيع الأماكن الصحيحة للتخييم، وهيئة الزراعة تقوم بتخصيص وتوزيع الأماكن المخصصة للرعي، وتقوم هذه الأربع جهات بالرقابة على الأماكن هذه وتقوم بتحرير المخالفات لكم يوم يقوم بمخالفة المواقع أو التخييم خلاف ما ذكره قانون حماية البيئة. شرطة البيئة تقوم بالتعاون مع بلدية الكويت والهيئة العامة للبيئة، وذلك لضبط المخالفين للأماكن في غير الأماكن المخصصة لها، وتنطلق عقوبة المخالفة لأحكام المادة 40 من قانون حماية البيئة من 250 دينار إلى 5,000 دينار لكل من يخالف نص المادة، والتي طبعا حضرت كل من يرتاد المناطق البرية بقصد إقامة المخيمات أو لأي نشاط آخر من شأنه أن يقوم بالإضرار بالتربة أو التأثير على التربة أو قدرتها الإنتاجية. نعم، حقيقة إدارة شرطة البيئة والهيئة العامة للبيئة وكذلك بلدية الكويت مستمرة حقيقة في التعاون في مراقبة وضبط المخالفين الذين يقومون بالتخييم في غير الأماكن المخصصة، ودائما طبعا الجهات الثلاث تراعي التطبيق بشكل متعاون ومستمر. أنصح جميع يعني من يقوم بالذهاب للمناطق البرية بقصد إقامة المخيمات أن يتقيدوا بكافة الاشتراطات البيئية بما جاء بقانون حماية البيئة 42 لسنة 2014 وتعديلاته، والتقيد بالاشتراطات خاصة الابتعاد عن المعسكرات والابتعاد عن خطوط الضغط العالي التي من شأنها أن تقوم ببث الإشعاع الكهرومغناطيسي الذي من شأنه أن يقوم بالإضرار بالصحة العامة.
Welcome back to our next guest, Captain Ali Quli, KFSD Public Relations Media, right here in the state of Kuwait. And also he is the media of the Department of the Kuwait Fire Service Directorate, KFSD. That's a catchy title, KFSD, that's good.
Yes, it is.
Did you invent it? No.
No.
Thank you, Captain, for being with us. Now, first of all, we would like for you to explain the relation and your job What exactly it means when we say about the department and fire and awareness and campaigns and camping and everything? What exactly we're talking about here?
Sure. First of all, I would like to thank KTV2 for inviting me on the show. And let's talk about the firemen. If I'm going to put a fireman into perspective, it's a dangerous job, and it takes a lot of effort and speciality to be a special person to be in this fire department. If we're going to talk about the Kuwait Fire Service Directorate, our mission in the state of Kuwait is to offer the necessary protection to save the lives and the properties of the people. Along with that is the environment. It's a huge job and a great responsibility. Along with that, we have to ensure that let's talk about the people, let's talk about the environment and the buildings. We need to ensure that the awareness is well spread around the community, because I believe
when you say awareness, it means that you need to protect yourself, therefore you have to follow these procedures.
Of course.
Something like that.
Of course.
Whether in the city or outside the city.
Right. So when we talk about in the city, because most of the incidents that we deal with are in the governorates in the state of Kuwait, and we're going to talk about some governorates differ than others in terms of the stats of number of incidents that we're dealing with, and of course in the season. But if we go back into the awareness campaigns, it's very important that as the public relation and media department's job, we spread awareness, and part of our continuous plan that throughout the years we give out these awareness campaigns based on the season. We have recently we're done with one of the campaigns and one of the biggest malls in Kuwait. It was under the slogan Nabik Salim, we want you safe. And it was well organized, and along with the EMS people. It was very effective. We had a lot of questions and people interact. That's what we need. We need people to interact with us.
That means you are delivering the right message.
Exactly.
If somebody is interacting with you, that you are reaching their heart and souls.
Exactly. And we transfer the stories and we tell them exactly what type of danger they might face, whether you're at home or you're at work or even when you drive in a car. So we try to aware people about many type of incidents that we're dealing with as the fire department. Of course, there's different type of fires. That's why when we talk about in these campaigns, we talk about the type of fires and what type of systems that you need to have to protect yourself and your family from any future incident that might happen.
Captain Ali, now the camping season just opened about 1 week ago, and it's going to last until March. You may have, you may not have any incidents like fire here and there. What exactly your safety guidelines for the spring camping?
Great. Throughout the camping, also we have another campaign associated with a cooperation with other private sectors. We have certain guidelines. We have a special safety checkpoint. It's going to be in the southern part of Kuwait, because most campers head to the southern part, and the most intense population is on that side. One of the most common problems we deal with is people when they camp, they need to choose the right camping grounds. Usually it should be in a higher elevations. That's one of our recommendations. The second most common, when you lay out your camping ground, there should be a safe distance between the camps, which is about 6 meters, a minimum of 6 meters. The type of wiring you're distributing, the generator, the way you use the generator has to be very safe. In case of you're going to use the generator or refill it, you need to switch them off, turn it off, and after that you refuel it. The most common problem is inside the tent. And if you're going to ask me what, I will tell you the charcoals. Charcoal is the most common problems we deal with. Why? Because it produces a chemical which is the CO1. The CO1 is a deadly chemical. It's a silence, deadly killer that you will not...
Invisible. You cannot
invisible.
See it.
Most people...
And odorless, you cannot smell it. Maybe sometimes you don't smell it.
You won't smell it. It's smellless. So what happens, people light up the charcoals, they bring them in, And after they bring them in the earliest stages, they keep them in and without any ventilation. Because it's cold, it's nice weather. They want to keep warm. They want to have their tea or whatever. So they keep them for a long period of times. And that particular time, the gas is spreading around, and what you're gonna go into nausea. The second thing you're gonna know that you are fading out, and you don't notice that. That's most common problems. How can you associate yourself with that? After you're done, you can bury it in the same safe area. That's our advice for all our viewers today.
Yesterday, we had a huge fire in Sabhan area. Most of the firemen were there and some of them got injured. Unfortunately, it happens, but we would like to focus on this injured. His name is Major Musaed Alsultan. He's with us right here, and it's not in the studio, by a phone call. We would like to welcome him, and also we would like to thank God that he is still safe with us, and injuries occurs every once in a while. Good evening, and thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, good evening there.
Thank you, sir. Major Musaed, could you tell us what exactly happened in the fire in the Sabhan area?
First of all, we received a call at 5:30 in the morning. We go out for 3 storages of furniture storages, about 6,000 kilometers. It was all on fire. So when me and my crew go inside the building and start fighting the fire, I was standing above flame steel, and the safety shoes that on me from the huge heat, it smelled down on my legs. So I have the injury, and after I they took me to the ambulance, from the ambulance to the hospital. And we thank God that I'm now fine, and I'm ready for other fires.
This is the spirit. We all know that you are a courageous and a very brave man, just like your colleague who's sitting next to me, Captain Ali Alqali. We were talking about the accident that it occurs every once in a while, and it is very hard and difficult to contain the fire, honestly. What exactly in the future that you have in mind to prevent these incidents from happening? It's going to happen, but you need to contain it. What exactly you have in mind that you would love to do in the future?
For the accident, it happens, but we must be much careful and beware of every small and big accident when we are fighting the fire.
Major Musaed Alsultan, it's a pleasure talking to you. We wish you a speedy recovery and get well, because you have an obligation to serve the state of Kuwait as well as the citizens, an obligation to come here in our studio to come back with us. Doctor, you're a doctor, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Captain,
We're gonna be fine.
you heard your colleague and he had
Yes.
an accident, and thank God he is feeling good. And accident happens every once in a while. Alhamdulillah ala kulli hal. Now, back to the camping.
Great.
Tell us more. No, honestly,
Okay.
because it is a very sensitive issue, because people do not realize they are killing our environment. We need to do something about it.
Of course, we need to do something about it. As a safety guidelines, we always recommend, as we said, remembering, of course, you need electricity. And when you install your wires in these environments, you need to install them in the proper way. And the type of light bulbs you're using is very important, because most people start overloading their electrical systems that they hook into their camping areas. Because a lot of people, they have massive camping grounds, and they need to ensure that all the camping ground is well equipped with all the electricity. The main problem is people, when they use these camping grounds, they misuse them by even dumping most of their materials. Some of them are chemical materials. They dump them in these grounds. It could be fatal. And on the other side, we could have every camping ground has a kitchen. So we're associated with that. They're using LPG gas cylinders. And some of the common problems we use is we might have a gas leak. That's another issue.
Might explode at any moment.
Of course, when we talk about gas leaks, incidents are very fatal. The most common problem, you have to know that your tents are flammable material, and it's highly flammable.
Just lights up in a second, just like that.
Exactly.
I don't think you have time to extinguish the whole fire inside your tent. I don't think so.
That's where you need to come, it comes in hand. You need to have a fire extinguisher.
Which you have.
Which
with
I
us
have
here.
right here
Okay,
with me
what is
today.
it?
It's this is an example, a sample of a 1 kilo fire extinguisher, a powder. We recommend, as the fire department, to have.
It should be in houses and in the tents at the same time.
Of course.
Yes.
When you talk about camping season, you should have it in your tent. After the season, you should have one area house, and you know how to use it. We call it the pass method. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, and squeeze the handle. And you keep squeezing until, and of course, after you squeeze, you need to sweep right to left at the base of the fire, because most fires, every fire around the world starts from the ground up. So you need to extinguish the fire from the ground, and you need to be in a safe distance. Having one
Like
of those,
2-3 meters away from it.
it depends
from
on
the fire.
It depends. The rule of thumb says it depends on the size of fire. You could get close enough until you feel the heat, you stop, and then you start using the extinguisher.
But you mentioned something very important. You start from down and up.
Of course, from the ground up. So you need to, every fire starts from the ground up. The hot air
Because
rises.
this is the base of the fire.
That's the base of the fire. And when we talk about fire, you have to notice that the fire extinguisher is designed to fight or any fire that is only primary fires, not huge fires. Because when a fire goes, there's 4 stages for every fire.
Even the fire, there's a stages for it.
Of course. Well, that's a whole
This is
science.
new.
There's a science world behind it. If I have time, we'll talk about it. But
No, you have time. Go ahead, talk about it.
The fire science, when we talk about fires, there's 3 elements for every fire around the world. I should have oxygen, which is in the air. I should have flammable material, and I should have a source of heat. And when we talk about a source of heat, with these 3 elements, it's called a chain reaction, which a fire will erupt. Okay, so these elements are always available in every fire you could see around Kuwait or around the world. To extinguish a fire, you need to have the right type of extinguisher, because as we know, and there are type of fires. They segregate them into classes. There's electrical fires, there is solid materials, there is gases, there is oils and fat. So there's different type of fires. The most common, and which we recommend in the Kuwait Fire Department for the public, to have a powder or a CO2. The mother of all.
And not to mention that these, honestly, cylinders, they have expiration date. It does not
Definitely.
last forever.
Definitely. If you are an owner, you should maintain it. Every year, you should check it from the store you bought it from. Along with that, you need to, there's a gauge right here. There's a knob, if the camera will give me a nice zoom on it. And that knob indicates that it's in the green zone.
It means it's safe to use it.
It means it's safe.
Still valid.
It's still valid.
Just like cheese and everything else, you can
Exactly.
eat it.
But you won't eat this one, you need to use it. So in that case, we need to know that it's in the green zone, it's valid. And most people leave it. Whether you have it in your car, if you have it in your car or at home, they will leave it for years. So it's very important to make sure this
Just
pressure,
a gauge.
this
It tells you is it empty, is valid or
PSI
not.
gauge, yes.
Hold this thought, because I have something very important to show to the public, and come back with us. You have brought something else to the studio, and this one here looks very nasty. No, the one in the middle. Let's talk about the one in the middle. What is it?
Right. Well,
you can show it to the camera.
Sure.
Okay.
So we could see it right here. Every one of us has it at home. It's an extinguished cord, power cord. We use it for our.
I just want to turn it to the camera.
Okay, we go to the camera right here. We're gonna. Everyone has it at home, and it's. If you could see this black. Bird right here, and it still smells bad after 1 month. The problem with the power extinguishing cords right here, most common fires erupted from electricity, based on our statistics report in Kuwait. What happened over here is an overload.
Overload.
Yes, the overload is right here. What happens into this section right here? Most people, when they go buy these extinguishing cords, they don't differ between a high quality or a bad quality one. They go usually for the price.
The cheapest.
Exactly. So that plays a big role. There is a fuse and the wires that are hooked into this extinguished cord.
Let's explain the overloading. Like when you say overloading, that means that you are using some kind of device that requires more electricity. Therefore, it overloads this one and burns it.
Exactly, that's what happened right here. Let's say, for example,
this one here been used for what? Which caused the fire?
It was used for a fridge.
And it shouldn't?
It shouldn't. Usually high electricity devices that sucks a lot of electricity, such as fridges, heaters. Now we're in the winter season. A common problem that we get into, a lot of people hook their heaters, whether it was gas or electrical, into these extinguishing cords, and that's a violation. You will overload it and you will experience a fire. And most of these extinguishers, where do we place them at home? Next to the flammable material. Everything.
Carpet, curtains,
doors,
wooden doors.
We don't like to see them, but we like to use them. So usually when a fire erupts...
This is funny. We don't want to see them, but we'd like to use them. This is funny.
Yes, it is. And on the other hand, is most people, after, like I said, they overload them with devices, and they keep them running for 24/7. It's very...
We are almost out of time.
Right.
What about storages? People tend to storage their goods, their food, their clothes. What about them? What's the safety thing to do?
Speaking about storage, it's very common. The rule of thumb is it depends on the type of material you have. You need to storage your material based on the type of material, whether has it...
It's like on the air right now?
Exactly, right here. You could see right there we have certain violations. The stocking of these materials all the way to the ceiling, and the random materials, they're blocking the emergency exits, or right here you see there is another storage on the other floor. Right here, the prevention sector have closed this premises and gave them a violation for not to practice any type of businesses until they refer back to us. Most common problems that we deal with in these type of warehouses where people use them to stock their material, there's a lack of violations in terms of other issues, ventilations, and they stock chemicals into the wrong place, and they stock them all the way to the ceiling, where usually we have these prevention sector, they apply these systems.
Okay. Now, honestly, time flies when you're having a good time. You brought something else. I want you to tell us what is it, what exactly we can do with it briefly.
Briefly, we have right here a smoke detector. A smoke detector is a very important device. I recommend everybody to have it at home. It's a guard that will detect the smoke in the earliest stages. So if you were sleeping, imagine at night, and you had a good day, and a small fire erupts at night, how would you notice?
Nothing. You will be burnt until you're dead.
You will suffocate from the smoke.
That's
not even. That's what happens. And 32%, if you notice, fires erupts at night. So this device right here, it will detect it in the early stages. You need this leverage time to escape as soon as possible and get out of the house.
Maybe you're brave enough to extinguish the fire before it...
If you have an extinguisher, if you're not, you need to install it. And where to install it? Bedrooms, hallways, garages, and in every room of the house. And it's cheap and it's affordable and it's very recommended to have it. And as we always say, we hear the beep. Before you sleep, you will be safe. There's a beep in it and it will give you that indication.
That's another slogan. You hear the beep before you sleep and you'll be safe.
You'll be safe.
This is wonderful.
Yeah.
Captain Ali, pleasure to have you here, honestly. And not to mention for our dear viewers that he is with us all the time. He has a program right here on KTV2 all about fire and how to fight fire.
Of course.
Best of luck to you, honestly.
Thank you so much. And it's our job to serve the state of Kuwait, and we're always going to be here to answer all of the questions and ensure the safety of the public.
We'd like to thank Captain Ali Alqali, Public Relations and Media Department of Kuwait Fire Service Directorate, KFSD. That's wonderful. Well, this is all the time that we have for you right here on KTV2, your favorite program, To The Point. Next week, the same time. This is Wednesday at 8:15 to be precise. I'm Ahmed Alwasmi. Until I see you again, take care of yourself and each other, and bye-bye.